What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is More Summer. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Set. His name is Joe. And this is, simply put, a 1v1 between two mighty fine individuals that I have not seen. It was requested. I think I got sent it on Discord or something like that, and they said it was a good one. Now, Moore and Joe, they've been playing this game for quite a while, and Moore is definitely known as an Oranos player, and Joe is definitely known as an Egyptian player who tends to favor the Set here, especially in the Atlantean matchup. He prefers Set over the other two Egyptian gods here because of the ability to pull off some shifting sand shenanigans, but it will matter whether or not he does some damage or not as to whether or not he's going to be a happy camper or not so much a happy camper. So we'll see what he can do. We do have a relic already found on the map. It's Kopesha Forest. This one's huge for the Egyptian player. It's actually pretty big for the Atlantean as well, but because of how many myth units Atlantean players make nowadays, they make a lot of Satyr, a lot of Prometheans. You get that Kopesha of Horus, and it's really going to help out, you know? And we do see the villagers running over onto the gold here. The priest has not found anything, so that's why he hasn't started a house yet. So normally the build order for Set is going to be 5 villagers to food, and then you put a villager onto houses here. But because the priest has not found any hunter convert, there's the polar bear. He's going to have to start the house up as soon as he clicks on that polar bear, otherwise he will get housed. And just going to heal that labourer back up, and there's the villager to build the house. It's going to be totally fine. I have done a little bit of my own investigation into this build that looks like Joe's doing, and I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that if you go 3 food and then 2 gold here instead of 3 gold, you're going to do exactly what Joe wants to do, but faster and a little bit more efficiently. So there's the temple going down at 220, and I can't see exactly how long it's going to build, but I think it's over 40 seconds, so we can't do a 4-minute advance time that he really wants to do here. At least that's my my gauge of it. And we do have a relic over here as well, Pandora's Box. Actually, funny, these relics both counteract each other. Kopesh kills myth units, and the Pandora's Box brings myth units back nice and fast. Looking like Joe is wanting to move out onto the caribou here. I think that's a little bit too aggressive. It just means, even if he eats all of it in the next minute and a half or minute and 10 seconds, he's just not going to be able to advance to the next age. He's going to go for it. This boar a little bit out of position here. Let's check out Moore's perspective. He's got his mana up, no temple just yet. He's got pretty good food. He's going to be building that temple very soon. Has these 2 boar here. He's already got a villager over onto the caribou. Has to be careful about this spot here because it can be very easily attacked. And we do see that Moore is even going to be eating a herdable here just to make sure he can get up to the next age in time. It's always a difficult task for the Atlantean players to make sure they get that 430, otherwise they can be under a lot of pressure. Now Joe, on the other hand, he's already advancing. It's looking like it's a 420-ish or 425. Looks like the map layout didn't quite work for his build here. You want to go up a little bit faster with the Set. Yeah. And he's moving over 8 villagers onto the gold. He's got 7 on food still. And we'll see if he builds any priests or if this is just going to be like a fake shifting sands rush. He doesn't really know where anything is. He does have a polar bear. And he can still do the shifting sands rush even without it. So he can. He's even got some houses going up here to make sure that this is all walled off. Very smart play. This tower here is also very important. So make sure he has to protect that. I'm not surprised he hasn't thrown up any walled segments or anything like that. And the scout is going to be going down. Now let's see what Moors are doing in defense of Joe's shift. He's actually done nothing here. So if a vision came down and this shifting sands attack was big, which it could definitely be, we're not seeing it though. Well, we may go with just, yeah, he's going to go for it. I like it. There's the vision shifting sands onto this villager or these villagers. Probably this one's the best. Definite villager pick off there, and we are seeing the villager try to get this up as fast as he can, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, he did not get it into the mana. He could have got it in there, and that would have been huge. Shockwave is down as well now for Moore as he was trying to get that mana up in time, but he did not manage to do so. Now Moore's down to 6 villagers instead of the 7 villagers, and he's going to be trying to throw up these counter barracks up here, but this is dangerous for him because he's actually going to take a lot of damage from the Pharaoh and the Priest and the Wadget, and they're running away right now, getting both of these counter barracks up, and Joe is doing some real damage, currently getting his own second town center while this is all going on. More with the Oracle Hero going to be hitting some of these villages while this is going on. This counter barracks here is not going to get picked off, or not going to get finished, I should say, especially if he doesn't alt S that one there. Oh, and the turbo popping out. That's another huge pick off. That's a 90 resources already thrown down the drain there. Definitely want to be putting those termite into the counter barracks there if you can. Meanwhile, Moore, he's not able to get this counter barracks up. I would have preferred to see it. Whenever Set does this kind of strategy, he's leaving himself open to harass here, harass here, harass here. So you don't need to really defend this so much. This can only take so much of your home base away from you for the time being. You kind of want to just be spamming units forward and trying to prevent hunt. And we do see the Prometheans coming here. So this is really smart from Moore. He's able to actually prevent this town center from going up. And I don't think it's going to go up. It's kind of slowly going up at this point now. Priest is coming in for Joe. But Joe's going to be hurting just a little bit here. In response, and now some hero Terma are on their way. They're actually smart enough to go to a different position as the town center does get finished there, and the Promethean will be falling to the town center and the Priest, and Promethean offspring left in their wake. And now we see yet again more running straight past the Kopesha Horus with heroes there. It does hurt me to see that one not getting picked up. The Prometheans going after some of these caribou here. That's funny, but they should be all picked off. Misses the Pharaoh shot, unfortunate there. And those Promethean Offsprings will live to fight another day. Now, Moore's going to have to figure out what damage he can do. He sees the villagers gathering from this boar, way out of position here. Immediately starts targeting onto them with more Terma coming in. And he will have to consider to stop building these Terma and thinking about going for a second town center for himself and switching into Mermillo here, because these Terma, while they're quite good, and there's another reason, I don't think he should have built the second counter barracks. Just stay one counter barracks, build these 6 or 7 Terma, and then you can just cancel it, and you're going to have an extra 100, 100 wood, 25 gold, can make a world of difference in terms of upgrades. There's pickaxe as well that's just coming through for more. I think the immediate double military building is maybe something you don't want to be doing in this matchup, but it's just so ingrained that's how it happens here. And more coming in to hit. Ooh, he's actually just going to bash through the wall here. No, not going to happen. We do see the polar bear sees the town center going up, so that'll be fine for Moore to get out. I don't think Joe's got any pressure right now. He does have a lot of herdables here to retreat onto, so he does not need to be on these berries at all, especially if he has husbandry, which he does have, because the goat actually gather faster than berries if you have husbandry. They gather at the same rate if you do not have husbandry, as we've said time and time again. Anyways, towers are up, finishing off these houses. This is only 1 gold mine ghost lake here for Joe, so he does have a pretty close gold mine here, but it is definitely possible for Moore to get a gold star here if he gets the right unit combination, the right micro, and gets a good shockwave. He may be able to gold star on this gold mine. And especially if he can prevent this town center from being grabbed, it's going to be huge. So Moore still hasn't thrown down his second or his military barracks, so still sticking with the Terma, which does mean that Joe can basically just spam out his own slingers, which do trade efficiently against the Terma. They cost less and they basically trade 1 for 1-ish if you have enough of them. So you have to make sure you have enough of them. But with good micro, the Terma can beat the slingers because they can obviously dodge those slinger balls Now the barracks almost up, and it does get up at half HP there as the Terma were doing some damage. As you can see, there's Terma just distracting. Does pick off pick off a gazelle there. Definitely want to try and keep those alive and not use them in your army. They don't do a lot, 2.4 damage. You can get a lot more value out of just eating them, especially like, I think none of the people eat the hyena of set either. What do they have? They have like 60 food, yeah, 60 food and 75 food, I think. Yeah, so something that could be done. Miner is another mana go for more. He's actually playing quite well in this game in order to keep his military production happening. And more coming in. Going to be picking off some slingers. Oh, nice marker from Joe to keep that one alive. You can heal that one back up as well. Really, really smart play to garrison that. We do see Ancestors, or I should say Nephthys, coming through for Joe. 34%, 40% currently. More on the other hand, he's just spamming out units. He wants to get full population before he advances. Definitely advancing through Hyperion here is going to be key. We only see one monument for Joe, so that's not going to be any sort of a Scorpion Man spam, but the animals popping out will help out quite a bit. And I'm sure that Joe could be thinking about getting his Shadoof and transitioning into farms here, but sort of has to be careful about getting this this gold mine here. A Migdol Stronghold popping up right here will be enough to, will not be enough to defend it, but it will tilt the favor in Joe's side if the Migdol can get up over here. But we'll see what happens there. It's also going to be Ancestors available, so we'll see where Joe goes for a Migdol, or if he just sits on the barracks units here and gets out heavy slingers, which I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, hold on, I think we get extra range? No? Okay, I'm wrong. For some reason I thought maybe it's on EE you get extra range for heavy slingers. Someone in the chat can tell me about the random buffs you get when you get upgrades for slingers, and I think if it did give us extra range, or give the slingers extra range, it would be a worthwhile immediate grab there. We are seeing Joe moving out, ready to have this fight. He's picking off a Promethean or two, or even, and we just see another Val going down just to bolster up his army a bit. Joe going to be retreating back for the time being, trying to split up his army, making sure that no sort of shockwave shenanigans can hurt him too much. I definitely think if you hit Alt B is the best counter to, or box formation is kind of the best counter to Shockwave with archers. And we do see the heavy slingers come in, and it does give an extra range. So I'm not wrong. I believe Ipit is wrong. So boom, we found one. Or I have an outdated tooltip. One of the two. Who knows? Scorpion Man coming in, getting bashed down very fast by those Termi Euros. But he is taking a lot of damage that the villagers moving out right now. He's going to be immediately focusing down that Pharaoh. May have to see an Ancestors getting thrown down here. Nice tank there from the Scorpion Man, but he does go down. Crocodiles of Set here as well, going to be helping out quite a bit. The Slinger's going to be trying to pick up some toes. Nice micro there from Moore, but also good micro from Joe. Huge shockwave coming down, and there is the Ancestors going to be forcing these Terma away. And that's going to be a lot of dead Terma. The Ancestors are quite slow though, so the Terma should be able to get away. They both run at roughly the same speed, 5.0, and the Slingers will not be able to chase them. Third Town Center going to be coming down for Joe right now, and I'm sure that Moore is going for his own third Town Center and potentially going to the Heroic Age. He's going for Thea. A little bit of a interesting decision there. I would have thought that a Hyperion would have been an option here, but potentially going to be transitioning into some Contarius. What's it called? Lance of Stone Contarius? No, the other one. Poseidon's Secret Contarius could be a really strong counter to the army that Joe's currently making, and because he's Set and not Ra, he actually favors or prefers to build those archer-based units, the Slingers, the Chariots, because he gets cheaper, or not cheaper, but faster training time on them, so he can spend them out a bit faster. So I'm still running around trying to do the thing. Nice little maneuver with the Ancestors to find the Town Center going up. So nice move there from Joe, who's now on 3 Town Centers. But the Heroic Age has come through for more, and we'll see what he's choosing to do here. He's throwing up a market straight away, so potentially just going straight Titan here wouldn't be a bad idea at all, because Joe's just grabbed his third Town Center. He's going to be a ways away the Mythic Age for for the set player here. But there's the Hesperid's trees, just trying to find his way there. He's not building any units, but he is getting heavy archers. Seems like an investment that could be waited on, because he is missing out on about 400 gold right now, which would be given to him if he didn't upgrade that that technology there. But not happening, not going straight to the Mythic Age. And we'll see where he goes from now. But Joe with a crazy amount of villages on this gold mine here. I'm always interested in what's more efficient when you have a ferry here. Is the 4 mining camp placement better, or if you just or not? Joe's actually going to be in a really difficult position here because he's only got 1 gold mine. This is one of those rare Ghost Lake spawns where you have 1 starting gold mine and then only 2 large gold mines on the map, which is going to be huge for Moore because he's going to be able to put a huge amount of pressure onto Joe when this gold mine is needed. So we'll see if Joe notices this and starts up an early trade route, because he could just chuck the trade route here and go to here. And while it's not exactly efficient, it will be gold in the pocket for him, and it will keep him alive when he's thinking about going for another gold mine. And now the Terma coming in for a raid, and it takes him hits from the town center here, but we'll be able to pick off a villager or 2. Base off 1 there, and then he's going after the gold mine here. Maybe the villager's gonna, villagers sneak over here and build a migdol would be a really smart move. More now going to be going to the Mythic Age through Hecate. He's already 50% of the way there, and Armory's getting thrown up everywhere as Joe's trying to keep these Terma in here, but he's just not able to get the final armory up there. That was really cute, but just not enough. A bunch more villagers were picked off by Joe from Moore's Terma, but he is losing some more of these Terma to those heavy slingers. Now, is Joe on the way to the next stage? He is on the way to the next stage, so 75% Mythic Age. So both players are on their pathway to the Mythic Age. And we'll see what happens here. But the Terma's over here spotting that this is going up, which means the Terma are going to be coming over as well. This is going to be huge for Moore if he can do something here. A Tartarian gate onto this Migdol stronghold could be absolutely gigantic, or a Tartarian gate onto this Migdol where there's no towers around it going to be pushing off this gold mine could be gigantic as well. However, the spearmen are already coming out. We're seeing some destroyers coming out, and there's the tornado. A really early use of that tornado. Going to pick off the Stymphalienberg, going to pick off this town center as well. Potentially even going to pick off the palace. We just see the villager moving away from that one there. No attempt to really repair it. It's surprising. It's if the tornado gets close enough to it, it will go down, and there it goes down. If he repaired it, it probably could have survived. Anyways, now Joe's got to move in here and do this damage. We do see the Tartarian gate coming down onto the Migdol stronghold of Joe, though, as he immediately takes all of those villagers off that onto the Tartarian gate. He does have masons. He could even be researching architects here. No architects just yet. Town center coming up for Joe, and Moore's really on the back foot. Joe not empowering this though, not really focusing over here either. The Tartarian spawn's going to do so much damage. He needs to get some priests out in order to pick off these Tartarian spawns for when the Tartarian gate goes down, and he's already on top of that, making those priests out of his town center there. He's got the Rhino of Set and the Hippo of Set coming in to hurt Moore even more. But I don't know if it's gonna. Well, it actually is gonna be enough. The Mermiller are coming in, and these slingers, they don't have the electron bullets. They don't have that extra 10% damage, but it's not gonna matter. There's just so many of them, and surprised to see Joe. Well, he is trying to build some chariot archers. I was gonna say, surprised to see Joe not building chariot archers just yet, but that's totally fine. And the Tartarian gate has been picked off. A couple of priests will pick off the rest of the Tartarian spawns, and Joe's going to be happy with that situation there. Almost getting up to 4 town centers, but not able to do so just yet. The hero destroyers are out here. And he's even got run up straight to champion Terma here. Such an interesting decision, because the Terma, they don't get that much better when you get them to champion. If they were Arcus, it would be a different story. It's because of the way that percent bonus works. I mean, yes, they do a bunch more damage to the archers, but a lot of the time they're targeting priests and stuff. But you see the Avenger here did get converted to Chaos, but he gets a couple of kills even after that. Destroyers coming in as well. Would love to see some Axel coming in, which are coming in now for Joe in order to pick these guys off. The Destroyers are such tanks as well. They can take a beating from those archers. And now some Terma moving in as well. Going to be hurting, killing off some more of these units. But Joe's still producing villages. He's still going pretty good. He really does need to start a trade route though. Being on 1 gold mine or just about to hit 1 gold mine is going to be a really difficult spot for him to be in. Moore's actually in a really similar position though. He's got basically 1 gold mine left as well there, because that's 4,800 gold, and over here we've only got 700. So basically 1 large gold mine there. Villagers do get pulled off of the town center and are now targeting down the palace. And now Contarius coming in. Like I said, Contarius against this army composition is really, really good, especially if you can get Poseidon's secret out. These Contarius become mid-game gods, or even early late-game gods, basically until Crenellation Towers come out. They're really strong. And we don't see Poseidon's secret, but they're still going to be doing quite the damage. And this is a nice fight right now for Moore. Popping out a Fire Siphon is an interesting decision. He was doing really, really good with those medium destroyers, but deciding to get the Fire Siphon out, still repairing this palace. Joe is out for blood right now as he notices that this is basically the only gold mine that Moore has left here. And the palace looks like the villagers almost get picked off by some heavy axemen there, but the palace looks like it is just about to go down. We don't have Axe of Vengeance just yet for Joe. Oh, a nice shockwave onto those villagers to prevent the palace from going down just yet, and that's going to force Joe actually out of here as a couple of villagers decide to return back. And now some cavalry coming out as a counter to the Contarius. I like that decision. It's much better than making the Spearmen until you have Spear of the Horizon and Greatest of the 50. The Spearmen do beat the Contarius in that regard, but it does lend to that natural tech change to Arcus if you start making Spear of the Horizon or Horus Spearmen. And there's Joe beginning to research Secrets of the Titans here. I like that. Moore's sitting on 1 town center, or 2 town centers I should say, so he's not actually able to get the favor, and I think he may have noticed that some Stymphalian birds were being made there, so this is really smart by Joe. Noticing that a bunch of all the villagers are searching over here. I think Joe's looking for a gold mine. He doesn't realize that there's only 2 gold mine Ghost Lake. This is not good. This is not good for Joe at all. He's gonna find some berries. He's gonna chop some wood. Okay, fair enough. This could be the market placement as well. You should start the trade route. He's got a lot of food in the bank, so he can easily start it. Stymphalian birds are in, but the Fire Siphon's gonna be the difficult one to pick off. Nice garrison there. Gonna be trying to move in a bit faster, but it doesn't quite get the eject there quite nicely enough there. And Fire Siphon gets pulled back more. Nice micro from him. Stymphalian birds also getting pulled back as those chariot archers are focusing them down. They need to be onto something more useful. Those archers really not very good against this army composition at all. So it's a really smart from Joe, and really smart from Moore. Joe actually putting up some walls on this side though. Going to be looking for some sort of side build. And there's the Titan Gate going down for Joe. He's already started his trade route in his base from here to here. What are they getting? 10 gold. They're not even going to the right market at this point. Not good. And we do see Sky Passages now coming up for Moore. Moore's really good at this late game Oranos style. We do see some Contarius coming in. Do we have crenellations? There's no crenellations. These Contarius don't have any upgrades. And this is going to be villagers have to pop off here in order to pick these guys off. This should be totally fine for Joe to deal with, and he has managed to get a nice surround onto them, and they will be getting picked off as there is almost the last one. And Moore's now grabbing his own Secrets of the Titans. We'll see if he can get there fast enough. It is 90 seconds or so. The Contarius randomly find these villagers down the corner here. Nice play by Moore. Going to be picking those guys off nicely. And now the Migdol Stronghold does go down for Joe. He's going to be immediately chucking that one back up as he is forcing Moore to go elsewhere on the map to deal with what's kind of coming his way. And there is the Stymphalian bird going down as well. Yggdrasil stronghold back up. Joe needs to start investing in some technology right now because Moore is super far ahead. He's got his bronze weapons, he's got his iron shields, whereas Joe's got no armory upgrades. This is completely normal for Egyptians, but you do have to remember that there is a point where you have to just go, all right, I need to stop training units, give up some of my land that I've got in order to just catch up on those technologies. Otherwise, you're going to be facing a Oranos army with heavy or iron upgrades and champion everything else. We do see the Clontari is going for another raid on this Titan Gate. Chronolations has been researched now. The Axemen do get split from this, but I think that some armories could go down or something like that. Some ghost buildings. We do see the Clontari is choosing to go elsewhere here, looking for some raids or something like that. And the towers will be doing quite a bit of damage, obviously, and we do see an armory going down over here. And in order to block this, Titan Gate does go down in the middle of Moore's base. There's no god powers from Joe to prevent this one from going up, so the Hesperids tree blockage of god powers is not going to matter. Villagers do turn around and start fighting this as well. And the Axemen helping out as well. But the Clontarius are a little bit out of their element here. So this is going to be a close one. This is all going to be about, can this Titan get onto this Titan fast enough? This Titan Gate fast enough? And if it doesn't, it's going to be an interesting time. Because generally speaking, if you try to get there, we said the armory getting deleted so we can get more villagers on this. If you can't get there in time and you send him there, that means that you've taken some damage on the way over there. We'll see what he goes for. He does have a direct route down here through here, and we'll see if that's a possibility. Meanwhile, Chariot Archers doing their thing over here. Does finally have heavy chariots. The Axemen still don't have Axe of Vengeance, and we aren't seeing too much shenanigans going on. Still no market over in this corner is really irking me. What can you do? This Titan Gate is shooting up incredibly fast. And the Titan, he is slow at 3.75 speed. The Clontarius can even path block him right now. As you see, he does turn him into a Clontarius hero as well. And he's just going to try and move in front on the way down here. The army of Joe moving in as well. He's got a bunch of priests out in Pharaoh. That relic was picked up. I did not see who grabbed it. I think Moore grabbed it. He did get the Kopesh of Horus. So that's going to give him a little bit of an advantage in the Titan fight, as his heroes will do a little bit more damage to the Titan than they otherwise would. And the Titan going to be making his way in. It's going to be very close actually. This Clontari is path blocking really nicely, and we see the Axemen coming in. They still don't have Axe of Vengeance. Can break down these things. We're going to be seeing them jumping onto the Titan Gate as well. The Clontarius are path blocking really nicely. Still nice micro from Moore in order to do so. This is going to be incredibly close. And I do not think that it's going to be getting there at this point. 85%. We do see the Titan attacking the ground. Does a lot of damage. Picks up all of those Termit though. That's absolutely huge. Joe's sitting at nearly 3,000 resources in the bank here. And he's actually going to decide, nope, I cannot get there in time. I'm going to turn around. Nice play from Moore in order to get his Titan out as a defense against this time. We will be seeing some priest spammage coming out, funeral rites coming through as well. Clontarius raids starting to come over here as the citizen moves over into this corner, and he will spot the villager operation over here as the Clontarius come over. Nice map recognition while this citizen is looking for maybe a market to go up. Because he's actually run out of gold himself. He's got no gold left in the bank. Meanwhile, we will see the Titan going after this town center. Is he going to be able to get it fast enough or not is the question. It's not actually going to go down. Have to make sure you take it off the town center early. Otherwise, the other Titan will get an advantage on this one. We do see the Axemen. They don't have Axe of Vengeance still, and the Titan comes in, bashes the Axemen, and then turns onto the Titan. You never want to run away in these fights, so it's whoever comes out on top comes out on top. The town center does go down there. Nice play from Joe in order to pick that one off. But it's all of the units coming in right now for Moore. Maybe able to turn this Titan fight a little bit into the advantage for Moore here, because there's really not that many units for Joe at this point. But some hero arc is coming in as well, going to be helping turn the tides. It's currently 2,200 HP. There's about 100 HP extra for the Oranos Titan, so it's going to be fairly easy for Joe to pick this one off in the at the end of it, or they're both going to die roughly at the same time. As we see them, well, 40 HP left. That'll be easily enough picked off, but Moore's retreating it. This is a lot of HP to play around Mythic Rejuvenation, which Moore did not have. Is he researching it? No. Not researching it. You really don't want to be investing this heavily into the Titan. If he's got 28 HP, you just send him in, try and pick up a house or two or something like that. It's so much population. In fact, it may even be worth just deleting it at this point. And I think Joe knows that, which is why he's just leaving it alive. He's like, you know, it's fine, 28 HP. Keep him alive at 20 HP for as long as you can without him doing any damage to you. Totally fine. And now we're seeing Moore getting his town center back. There is still no trade route for him though. Moving up to the top corner, Joe's villages down here were all picked off, and he's going to be starting the trade route. Town center coming back up though, and we see the trade routes over here for Joe. He hasn't gone to the corner here. I kind of like it because this corner is a little bit more exposed over here. He's got the building set up. He should be thinking about walling off this location here and then moving to the corner when he feels a bit safer. Has the time, I guess. And the Titan is, oh my god, the Titan's doing some damage though. The Titan is doing villager raids. Dude, just kill it. I mean, actually the population difference here is in favor of Joe by a little bit. And now running at the town center, he's going to be taking 2 damage a second here. Meanwhile, the town center is trying to come back up, but he's just not able to at this point. How are these spearmen looking? Do they have any upgrades at all is the question. No, they have nothing. So those heavy Contaris actually beat them in a one-on-one fight. And the Titan is getting awfully close to falling at 5 HP left, and the villagers turn in here, and he does dart. Gets another hit off, and then he does fall to the villagers. You don't see that every day. You do not see that every day, indeed. Town center is still trying to come up for Moore here, who I think is still sitting at next to 0 gold income. He does have the market coming up. They're getting full gold, 18 gold from the first market. He needs to delete that market and just have them move automatically over there. And we are finally seeing the Contarius for what they are. Very strong against this set army. There's the heavy spearmen. There are the heavy spearmen. Joe really struggling for resources right now, trying to rebuild all those villages. If we check out what the trade difference is, selling wood is getting him 18 gold currently, and we've even got some fanatics coming in. So I think the same for Moore as well. He's getting 20 gold for the wood. I think he may have bought tax collectors. He may have bought tax collectors. That's funny. That's pretty funny. Alright, Joe now moving back in. I think he just needs to get out some siege here. Get the wall in, catapult, yeah, perfect. Towers up, perfect, that's all you need. Contarius raid's coming in now. He's going to be looking for something. Do you see the villagers trying to get up a gold star with a thing here, but I think it was too much in the range of Moore. You could see it. He has got Poseidon's Secret, no Lance of Stone, so not going to be seeing any of those hero Contarius raids, late game hero Contarius raids. But while the Contarius are over here, this is going to be huge for Joe. And in actuality, he could probably afford to just lose a couple of these villages and trade them for camel caravans, because getting all of this wood is not that important. You only really need 20 villages on wood at this point in the game. You need about 30 camel caravans, so just get rid of them, you know? Now the army from Joe is starting to look very scary. Contarius are going to have to get swapped away from. It is kind of time to transition into those Arcus if you can. You can get out the Arcus here, pick off these guys and get out some Fire Cipher. It's really difficult for this sort of Egyptian army to beat that kind of unit composition, but the catapult are already onto the town center, and Joe's got the initiative here. The Contarius are looking to pick off camel caravans though. He's coming into the back of the base and he can find this location. We do see coinage coming in for Joe, which is going to give him even more resources. All these villages have been surrounded right now though. That's gigantic. Picking those guys off going to be really, really hurting Moore's economy here, who I don't think he can afford to rebuild them currently. Well, he can afford to rebuild them, but it's going to be a slow process for him. Now the catapult does get picked off, did not have a wall around the back, which is also what you want to be doing. Nice little raid there from Moore in order to prevent that one from happening. Now more guard towers are coming up, and I'm sure that ballaster towers will be coming up fairly soon as well. And the the llama caravans have been set up now for Moore. So he's actually in a position where he can start spamming out those units, but it's gonna... Well, he needs to get them all going. He does not have them all going at this point. How many does he have? Well, he's got to have at least 20 or at least 25. Yeah, 26 llama caravans. We do see the guard tower coming back up as the Contari are trying to come around it. A granary getting thrown up in order to try and prevent them from coming in. That's cute. And now the fire siphon coming into the front. And we will be seeing the fire siphon not doing enough damage. We'll be getting picked off by those heavy spearmen. So the Contari is getting chased around by spearmen from Joe. He does have Grace for the 50 right now. And finally, some champion archers are coming in. But is it too little too late as Joe has managed to stabilize, push forward with these guard towers and take this town center? It's looking like that is the inevitability of this push. Still no engineers for Joe. He's sitting very low on the food. Only 26 villagers on food there as the market has been swapped now for Joe. He's going to start reaping in the gold as Moore is as well. And now we have it's possibly even time to just transition back to slingers here. While these archers are incredibly strong, they when mixed with towers, they will just flat out die to a bunch of slingers here. So we'll see if that's something that Joe's going to do, or he can just simply stay champion chariots here, and he should be totally fine. Definitely the best idea right now is just to keep throwing up guard towers and just control this town center. If you can control the town center, it's going to be great. More of these catapults moving in, be coming onto the to the palace here. See more guard towers coming up. Absolutely standard. I actually wouldn't mind to see even some axemen mixed in, getting Axe of Vengeance to help push through these buildings and kill off any destroyers that are coming out. You always got to mix in, got to follow. It's like destroyers beat the spearmen and axemen beat the destroyers. Spearmen beat the fire siphon and vice versa. You know. But Palace does go down, and I think Moore can actually hold here for quite some time. He would have iron upgrades, right? Well, he does not have iron upgrades, but Joe he's actually got bronze shield, which is huge. So he's going to be able to continue pushing in here. I'd love to see him grabbing a couple more armories and working towards some more upgrades in his armor, because he's not trading efficiently right now. But he does need to continue holding on to this location here. There's no palaces currently for Moore. He's spamming out dryads as well. And we're probably going to start seeing some priests coming out, maybe even the pharaoh coming off this market here. I doubt it though. He likes getting the gold. Gold's important. He needs to put a wall up here. Always protect your trade routes. If you start a trade route, protect it with walls everywhere. Everywhere is important. And more guard towers going up, and I think once these kind of go up, this kind of spells the end. Actually, with that palace coming back up, if you can get some fire siphon out, there's not really a good answer to the fire siphon, or even a couple of destroyers onto the guard towers if you can get there with those dryads taking up a lot of damage, giving them an extra. Well, they're kind of worth 2 population each, maybe 3 even. In terms of what damage they do, probably 3 population each. So he's kind of sitting at 15 or 155 population, right? If he gets out 5 of those dryads. Kinda. I don't know. Maybe you're wrong. Don't know. And we do see some villagers moving in, trying to pick up the catapult, but they will get picked off. Joe is still really struggling for food right now. He's got so many villagers on wood, he could just put them over onto food. I think in general, you want to be, if you're changing your what's going on, or you could just chuck up some towers over here as well. This would end the game. These villagers, towers here, boom, boom, boom. That would be huge. But Just focusing on over on this location. Your guard towers is cleaning up here. You can't be fighting underneath this. It's just without your own towers. You could have thrown up his towers as the defense. When your town center goes down, a good way to get it back is to put up towers behind it. You see villagers moving away, and the villager does pick off this citizen here. I think Joe sees the trade route now, and he will potentially throw something up to force this to be a bit of an issue here. Even a wall here would be hilarious, because that would force the trade to go up through this location and run past the town center and the watchtower there, which would be kind of funny. Or even like he chucks up a wall here and then a wall over here, and then the camel caravans go all the way around. But not happening yet. Town center's trying to come up for Joe. He's like, all right, more towers, more towers. This is what I got to do. And Joe's just gonna get further and further ahead before he grabs this town center, and it's just not gonna happen. Still surprised to see Joe not go for the trade route though, knowing that there's no gold left on the map. Even getting carrier pigeons here, so you can see a lot of the map. He's lumber camp, sees everything over here. He sees this siege workshop coming up for Joe right now. But again, Moore's got to commit everything to keeping this town center down. So just getting up towers over here will be huge, and Moore's actually seeing only 130 population right now. It's looking very, very dire for him. He's got 16 citizen out. So very low on that citizen count, and I don't think he's full upgrades either. No, he's not. Gonna go to that max civilian count, and Moore does tap out there. GG. Well played by Joe. That was a really good game there. Nice showing from Moore. He took a beating early on this mana, losing that citizen, but he wasn't out of it. I would like to see, instead of throwing up 2 counter barracks against this kind of pressure, just throwing up 1 counter barracks, because you know that your opponent's going 2 town centers. So if you throw up 1 counter barracks and make like 7 or 8 pressure terma, that's going to mean you can get your town center 100 wood earlier and 25 gold earlier as well. And it's not like you need to have them spamming out. They build fairly quickly at 14 seconds. So in about 2 minutes, you're going to have those 6 terma, or even a minute and a half. You have those 6 terma out on 1 counter barracks. You can just stop them after that and get your town center and put all the pressure on. And that would be an interesting idea. And then, man, this situation here was so big. If Moore could have potentially just prevented this Migdol, just put more pressure over here, put some towers up as well. I don't feel like he could have done that at some point. Started his trade route a little earlier because he ran out of gold, and then he had 0 gold for ages, which allowed Joe to fix up his issues. Anyways, well played. Joe did manage to take this one. It was looking dicey there for a moment. We'll check out the post game, because I don't normally do this, but we'll see the resource total. I think you can guarantee that Moore's going to be in front on this one. Yeah, there it is. Super far ahead on resources the entire game, but just not able to put the killing blow in there. And if we check out the military tab, Moore's units killed is huge as well. Joe is super far behind on units killed and units lost. But it just comes down to the fact that it doesn't matter how good your KD is, doesn't matter how much resources you have. If you can't kill your opponent, you will not win the game. You gotta put him out. You gotta put him to sleep, as it were. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the game. We'll move on to something else very soon. And yeah, thanks for being with me.